E kia ora mai tātou te whānau, he mihi atu ki a koutou e mā taki ana. Ko reo ai te kahu tēnei, ko au te kai mahi o Kaitiaki Marakai Backyard Gardens. Welcome to my backyard. What a week, whānau. It's been a massive week. We've had leadership uis, we've had financial management strategies with Ka Pou, we've talked about our Easter hui, and we've come to look at our gardens, seedlings, worm farming, composting, wood chipping. Remember I had a whole lot of wood from last Saturday cut down from the front, we're putting the fence up the back. So yesterday was chipping all that, so that was a bit of a mahi. But just wanted to give people a bit of an update and where we're at. I harvest my potatoes from here, and this was yesterday's activity. I piled up my potatoes along here, so these are my winter potatoes that I'm just going to let it grow, and the ones I've got stored, I'll eat those between now and winter, and then just before it gets a bit too cold, these will be my winter ones. So what you can see lying around place, I've got kumara, that's my winters, kai all around the place. I've got my lettuces, end of the season in regards to near the end from our tomatoes. But look what we've got here. I thought this was dead. I planted two banana trees from Dad's food forest that he put on the land, and I took a couple of pups. I've got two pups, well now they're bigger trees, bigger bushes, and then I've got a third one that's in the pot plant over there, which we'll plant over in the land. But this one I thought was dying, but look what's happening here. Here's the main trunk. This is the main one, so expecting on these two big trees here. This is the first time I'm growing them, so I don't actually know how long it's going to take for them to produce bananas. But the principle being is that anei te matua, this is the lead banana plant, and what's right beside it is what they call pups. This is the next generation. They only produce one lot of fruit per period that they grow, and so they produce flower, then produce the fruit, and then you cut them down, and then the pup takes over. And so what will happen is this will grow in a circle, goes around in a circle at each pup. Now you only need kind of three. You have the grandmother, or the mother, the daughter, and the granddaughter, to keep that succession going. So the idea being is, as we see this one growing through, we'll wait for another one to shoot through, and then the fourth one, I will harvest that, and I'll start doing what I've done with the other side, putting in at a pot plant to plant somewhere else. And what just popped through this week on this one here, this is the stronger one of the three of them, there's a pup. Look at that, she's coming through. Bananas, they love compost, and so strategy behind this planting is that, as I've mentioned before, I can do my weeding and cleaning up around it, and I just chuck all my compost over there. I can weed on that one, chuck all my compost, compost over there. Someone's car exploded in the sense of the muffler. Sidetrack, but yeah, so here's what I did yesterday. I've planted kumara along my fence line over here. I had some courgettes growing, and I've got some pumpkins hanging up there. But look at this. So my principle here is I take out, so I have to put in. And this is around soil health, around sustainability, around trying to produce most optimal fruits that are healthy. In other words, that whatever I plant in there, they're giving them the best chance. And so under my Hua Parekore kaupapa, I am in the process of thinking through the mana, the mauri and the wairua of the soil, and I'm wanting to enhance those capabilities or those abilities within it. Therefore, I'm wanting to feed and supply food to the worms that are in there, which are different worms to my worm farm. Those are specifically raised for composting. These worms here are to help break down the soil. They help to take the sugars and pass them on into eatable, soluble fixtures for the fungi that's in there, and then the plants take up those through the roots, either nodules or go to where those resources are and feed them. So what I do is I've dug it up, I've re-leveled out the soil, I've put down lime and blood and bone and sheep pellets, and I've watered that in, and then I'll just give it a bit of a mix. So my seedlings that I'm doing, I'll be planting out some seedlings in here, and hopefully squashing snails around the place. Hopefully as this comes through, all my winter brassicas will grow in here. I'll put some further out in the backyard garden. But anyway, it's Friday and I've actually come to the end of the week pretty exhausted. Preaching on Sunday, carrying on with Matthew 5, 13 to 16, I believe it is. So it's this passage where Jesus talks to the crowd and the disciples on the Sermon on the Mount. Caesarea Philippi, not Caesarea Philippi, it was Capernaum, and he was speaking about salt and light and the importance of allowing your faith to have an influence. From a salty perspective, it's about preserving, it's about influencing those around you, it's about having sound communication skills, and light. It's about letting what's inside, seeing that the world can see. And so those who are followers of the Lord, the idea behind that, particularly in the climate that we follow, what's going on around the world at the moment, is that we reflect the kingdom of God and how we treat each other and work with each other on a personal perspective. And the way we're doing that is our backyard gardens. Is encouraging food security, sustainability, and getting folk encouraged and saying, oh, I can do that, and so we do that together. So the idea being is that we create a bit of a movement, create a bit of a people that are wanting to do this, whether it's here or in our papakainga, or in your own backyard. So, oh yeah, I can do that. And so, yeah, like food waste, we can make simple compost facilities at home, and all we've done here is we run wānanga or workshops of how to do this. We teach people how to do that, how to germinate, how to make their compost farm, and use either the worm juice or the worm castings. This is called permaculture, but these types of worms are specifically for composting and taking that food waste. And so I'll take that, put it into here, and so that cycle comes back. All my green waste, put into here from yesterday, or I mulch it up and mix it up and this becomes either a bedding for my worms or compost down, and I just add it into the soil. So we see this cycle of rotating around, that the resources are closed within a loop of mana mauri tapu, understanding whakapapa, understanding te ao tūro in the place we find ourselves. And then always the learning, te ao marama, the old maramatanga, that ability to continue to learn from each other, learn from the experiences, learn from what the environment's telling us, watch and learn. And you know what? You actually find the more you take time to sit and learn and listen, you slow down inside, your thought processes slow down, your build-up of stress tends to unwind, the toxification that's inside your body, the inflammation that's inside your body, if you're grounded, it subsides. There's something about touching the soil where there's this DNA transformation that goes on, and people respond, and that positive mauri, that positive wairua, that positive mana starts to return into our beings. If you look back far enough to all our videos, you'll see what this used to look like. Yeah, we've got different fixtures going on here. We've got a bit of a nursery happening, we've got growing food. I picked some beans today, picked some harvested some potatoes and seed yesterday as well. We're eating bananas, we're sharing food. Man, this is fun. And if you like doing it, sure beats being in an office 80 hours a day. And I'm talking to folk out here in the backyard out there with the community side of the gardens, and people are stopping in, and we're sitting under the fig tree having a yarn. It's awesome. Anyway, whānau, this is me blabbering on. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate you joining us. Thank you to all the new folk in the last month, the 28 new members that have clicked on and liked the button and become part of our community. And can I encourage you, get it out there, even if it's with your own place. Just start small, start with what you like. Whatever you like to eat, grow it. I'm sure I've got some videos on there. We've grown a lot of different vegetables. Just find ways of growing it, and there's nothing like eating your potatoes and your broccoli and your cabbages and your rhubarb and your kumara, or your lettuces, or your lemons or figs or pumpkins, Māori potatoes, all from your own garden, all doesn't come out at the same time. That's what you're trying to do, is stagger it. But it's just, we're doing herbs too. Herbs have started to grow. Who would have thought they'll be growing herbs? Anyway, it's a lot of fun. This is Friday evening as we come to the close of our day. Look at these babies. Oh man, autumn's here. This is my autumn sign, and we're starting to see them. You guys, we've got this going on the Papakainga too. Yeah, got the Wānanga coming up, got Easter camp coming up. Peaceful. Yeah. Alright, whānau. Cliche, have a great weekend. If you're around Kaikoura, come and join us on Sunday. Share some worship together. Hear the word. Be encouraged. Alright, hang on up.